Have you ever stopped to think about how you just know you can't text your boss the same way you text your best friend? It's like we all have this secret rule book for communication. Well, in this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain and show you the hidden system that's secretly guiding almost every conversation you have.
I mean, just look at these two messages. On the left, "Hey, you free later?" On the right, a formal email to a professor. You instantly know which is which. You'd never, ever mix them up. But the really fascinating question is, how? How do we know that? Where did these rules even come from?
That's the big puzzle, right? It feels almost like instinct, like it's just hardwired into us. But it's not magic. It's actually a system, a really elegant one, that we all take part in every single day, most of the time without even noticing. So let's figure this out. To start, we need to look past the words themselves. The real secret to understanding these unwritten rules isn't in the messages, it's actually in the situations that make us write them in the first place.
And here's the biggest clue of all. The reason we have these standard ways of communicating is because life keeps throwing the same kinds of problems at us over and over and over again.
Seriously, think about your own life. How many times have you had to introduce yourself to someone new, or ask for a favor, or share some big news? These aren't unique, once-in-a-lifetime events. They're recurring challenges. Researchers have a term for this. They call them rhetorical situations, which is really just a fancy way of saying a common scenario that needs you to communicate. For example, introducing yourself to a potential boss, announcing something to the media, presenting your work to other experts, or even honoring someone who's passed away. These aren't just random acts of communication. They are standardized moments that pop up again and again, and they demand a specific kind of response from us.
And because we face these same situations so often, we as a society have kind of crowdsourced the best way to handle them. You don't have to invent a cover letter from scratch every single time you apply for a job, right? No, you follow the pattern because you know it's the pattern that works.
So, these standardized solutions to our recurring communication problems, what do we call them? Well, they have a name, and it's the key to this whole thing. This is the answer to that mystery rulebook we all seem to be reading from.
The answer is genre. Yep, that's it. And we're not just talking about movies or music here. A text message is a genre. A formal email is a genre. Even a simple thank you card is a genre. Each one is a predictable form that has evolved over time because it's simply the best tool for that specific job.
One researcher put it perfectly, calling a genre a typified rhetorical action. Now, let's break that down. Typified just means standardized or typical. But the most important word there is action. A genre isn't just a category of text. It's something you do. It's a social action you take to get something done.
All right, so let's put this into practice. Let's go look for some of these genres out in the wild. And I promise you, once you start seeing them, you're going to see them absolutely everywhere.
Okay, let's start with the really common, universal situation, needing to announce and honor a death. This is obviously a very delicate and recurring social need, and over time, we developed a standardized way to handle it with respect.
And the genre that evolved to solve this problem is, of course, the obituary. The moment you see one, you know exactly what its purpose is. Its entire structure, its entire form, is designed to do a very specific job for the community. An obituary follows a predictable script, right? There's a summary of the person's life, a list of who they're survived by, and details about the funeral. This structure isn't random. It exists because it gives the community exactly the information it needs in a clear, respectful way.
Okay, let's switch gears to a completely different problem. Let's say you're a company, and you need to get important news out to journalists. How do you do that in a way that a busy reporter will actually pay attention to?
The solution that developed is the press release. This genre is tailor-made for this one specific task. It's a tool that both the company and the journalist understand. It's the accepted way to get this job done.
And the rules of this genre are all about the audience. It has to be short and to the point, because reporters are busy. It's standardized so they can scan it for key info in seconds. And it focuses on just one thing to avoid any confusion. It is pure function.
Now for our last example. And this one is a really high-stakes situation. A scientist runs an experiment and gets a result.
How do they share that result with other experts around the world in a way that's reliable, verifiable, and trustworthy?
The genre for that job is the scientific journal article. Now, this might be one of the most rigid, most structured genres that exists, and for a very, very good reason. The entire goal is to build our collective knowledge in a way that we can all trust.
The rules are incredibly strict. You have this highly structured format, the abstract, introduction, methods, results. It has to be peer-reviewed by other experts, and it must include enough details so that any other scientist on Earth can replicate the experiment. The genre itself is what protects the integrity of science.
So, what's the big takeaway here? How can you actually use this? Well, understanding genre isn't just some cool academic idea. It's a powerful, practical tool that can make you a more effective communicator like right now. Here it is, your simple 3-step guide. The next time you have to write anything, just do this. First, identify the situation you're in. Second, recognize the genre that fits it best. Is it a business proposal, a complaint letter, a thank you note? And third, use the rules of that genre to meet your audience's expectations. If you do that, your message is going to land perfectly every single time.
And just remember, genres aren't set in stone. They're alive, they evolve. Think about it. The meme, the TikTok duet, the email newsletter. These are all new genres that were born to solve new problems. So we'll leave you with this question to chew on. What recurring problem in your own life needs a new genre? What communication tool is just waiting to be invented?